I'm Jake, 26 years old, and up until about 12 hours ago, I thought I had a pretty good life. I've been with my girlfriend Emma for almost 3 years. We met at a mutual friend's party, and honestly, it was one of those instant connection things. She was funny, smart, gorgeous, and we just clicked. My best friend since college, Marcus, was actually at that same party, and he was the one who encouraged me to go talk to her. "Dude, if you don't make a move, someone else will," he told me. So I did, and it was great, or so I thought. Marcus and I go way back. We were roommates freshman year at State, bonded over our mutual hatred of our statistics professor and our love of really bad horror movies. After college, we both ended up in the same city, got apartments in the same neighborhood, and basically became inseparable. He was the best man at my brother's wedding. I helped him through his nasty breakup with his ex 2 years ago. We had keys to each other's places. That's how close we were. Now, the three of us, me, Emma, and Marcus, we hung out all the time. Game nights, weekend trips, group dinners. Emma and Marcus got along great, which I loved. I've had girlfriends before who didn't like my friends, and it always created this weird tension. But Emma and Marcus seemed to genuinely enjoy each other's company. They'd joke around, they'd team up against me in board games, they'd text each other funny memes. I thought it was perfect. I thought I'd found my person, and she fit seamlessly into my life. God, I was so fucking stupid. The beginning of the end. About 6 months ago, things started feeling off. Nothing major at first, just little things that I rationalized away. Emma started working late more often. She's a graphic designer at a marketing firm, so late nights weren't unusual, but the frequency increased. She'd come home at 9 or 10 p.m., sometimes later, seeming exhausted and distant. "Rough day?" I'd ask. "Yeah, the clients are being really demanding," she'd say, not quite meeting my eyes. "I just need to shower and sleep." I'd give her space. I'm not that guy who gets paranoid and controlling. I trusted her. Then there were the phone things. She started keeping her phone face down all the time. She'd get texts and quickly glance at them, then put the phone away. If I was nearby when she got a call, she'd sometimes let it go to voicemail. When I asked about it, she'd say it was work or her mom or her friend Jessica. "Everything okay?" I asked one night after she ignored 3 calls in a row during dinner. "Yeah, fine. Just Jessica having drama with her boyfriend again. I'll call her back later." I believed her. Why wouldn't I? Marcus seemed different too, but in a way I couldn't quite pinpoint. He was still my best friend, still wanted to hang out, but sometimes he'd get this weird look when the three of us were together. Like he was uncomfortable or guilty about something. I asked him about it once. "You good, man? You seem off lately." "What? No, I'm fine. Just work stress, you know." He worked in finance, some analyst position that he was always complaining about, so that made sense. Looking back now, all these little signs were screaming at me, but I didn't want to hear them. I didn't want to believe that the 2 people I trusted most in the world could betray me like that. The weird incidents keep piling up. About 4 months ago, Emma started going to the gym more regularly. This wasn't suspicious on its own. She'd mentioned wanting to get back in shape, but she'd go at odd times. Like 8 p.m. on a Tuesday, or early Saturday morning when we used to sleep in together. "Want me to come with you?" I offered once. "No," she said quickly, then softened her tone. "I mean, I just need this time for myself, you know? To clear my head." "Okay, fine. Self-care is important. I got it." Then one night, about 3 months ago, I came home early from a work dinner that got cancelled. I walked into the apartment around 7 p.m., expecting Emma to be there since she'd told me she was staying in that night. The place was empty. I called her. "Hey, where are you?" There was a pause, and I could hear what sounded like traffic in the background. "Oh, Jessica needed to talk. I'm out with her. Girl emergency. I'll be home in a couple hours." "Okay, no problem. Love you." "Love you too." Here's the thing. I later found out from Jessica's Instagram story, we follow each other, that she was at her parents' house that entire week, 2 states away, helping them move. She wasn't even in town. But I didn't put that together until later. Much later. Marcus also started being weirdly unavailable. We used to have a standing Tuesday night thing where we'd grab beers and watch whatever game was on. He started canceling. First it was once or twice, which was fine. Then it became almost every week. Sorry man, something came up. No worries, next week? Yeah, for sure. But next week would roll around, and he'd cancel again. I started to wonder if he was seeing someone new and just didn't want to tell me yet. I was actually kind of excited for him if that was the case. After his brutal breakup with Sarah, he deserved to be happy. One Saturday about 2 months ago, Emma told me she was going to a work team building thing. An escape room followed by drinks. It's mandatory, she said. I know it's our anniversary month, but I can't get out of it. That sucks, but okay. We'll celebrate next weekend instead. She kissed me and left around 2 p.m. I decided to surprise Marcus. Maybe we could finally have that guy's night we'd been missing. I texted him. Emma's at work thing, you free? Pizza and that zombie movie you've been wanting to watch? He didn't respond for 3 hours. When he finally did, it was just, sorry, busy today. Rain check? I was starting to feel pretty alone, honestly. My girlfriend was always working or with friends, my best friend was always busy. I even mentioned it to my younger sister, Amy, when she called that night. I don't know, Amy. I feel like everyone's avoiding me lately. You're probably just overthinking it, she said. People get busy. Don't be that paranoid boyfriend. So I tried not to be. The cracks start to show. 6 weeks ago, things started getting really weird. Emma and I got into our first serious fight in months. We'd been so good about communicating, about working through issues. But this fight came out of nowhere. We were watching TV, and I casually mentioned that maybe we should start thinking about our future together. Like, really thinking about it. Marriage, moving to a bigger place, all that stuff. We'd talked about it before in abstract terms, but I wanted to start making concrete plans. Emma went pale. Why are you bringing this up right now? I don't know, just thinking out loud. We've been together almost 3 years. Doesn't it feel like the right time to start planning? I need some air. She got up and grabbed her jacket. Emma, wait, did I say something wrong? No, I need to think. I'll be back later. She left, and she didn't come back until after midnight. When she did, she got into bed without saying a word. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened, but something had fundamentally shifted. She was distant, distracted. She'd stare off into space, and when I'd ask what she was thinking about, she'd just say, nothing, and change the subject. I tried to talk to Marcus about it. We finally managed to meet up for lunch one day. He couldn't do evening because of work commitments, and I laid it all out. I think Emma might be having second thoughts about us, I told him, pushing my fries around my plate. She's been so distant lately. I mentioned marriage, and she practically ran out of the apartment. Marcus got this look on his face. Pained, guilty, something. Maybe she's just stressed about work, he offered weakly. It's more than that, I can feel it. We used to talk about everything, and now it's like she's keeping secrets. Have you tried just asking her directly? Yeah, but she says everything's fine. I don't know, man. Am I crazy? You've seen us together. Does something seem off to you? He wouldn't meet my eyes. I don't know, Jake. Relationships are complicated. That was it. That was all the advice my best friend could offer. No reassurance. No, she loves you, don't worry, nothing. Just that relationships are complicated. I should have known then. Some part of me probably did know, but I buried it deep because the truth was too painful to contemplate. The discovery. Last week, Emma asked if she could use my laptop. Hers was at work having some issue fixed, and she needed to send an email. Of course, I said, handing it over. I went to make dinner while she sat on the couch typing away. After she finished and went to take a shower, I sat down with my laptop to watch some YouTube. The browser was still open, and there were multiple tabs up. Email, Gmail specifically. I was about to close them when I noticed it wasn't my Gmail account that was logged in. It was hers. I know. Privacy, trust, all that stuff. Under normal circumstances, I would never look. But something made me pause. All those months of weird behavior, the distance, the lies, because I'd confirmed by then that Jessica hadn't been in town that night. My gut was screaming at me that something was wrong. I clicked on the inbox. The first email I saw was from Marcus. The subject line was just, last night. My heart started pounding. I clicked on it. Emma, we need to talk about this. We can't keep doing this to Jake. It's killing me. I scrolled down to see her reply. I know. But I don't know how to end it. I love you both, Marcus. You know that. I just need more time to figure this out. His response. We've been saying that for months. 6 months, Emma. How much longer are we going to lie to him? He's my best friend. This is destroying me. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I scrolled up, looking at the date. This exchange was from 4 days ago. Then I started scrolling through their email history. And oh God, there was so much of it. It started 7 months ago. Innocent at first. Emma asking Marcus for advice about a surprise gift for my birthday. Him suggesting ideas. Friendly. Normal. Then about a month later, the tone changed. Inside jokes. Conversations that lasted well into the night, judging by the timestamps. References to things they'd talked about earlier, meaning they were also texting or calling outside of email. 6 months ago, this. I can't stop thinking about last night. I know it was wrong, but it felt so right. We should have stopped ourselves, but I'm not sure I regret it. God, Jake can never know about this. And his reply. I feel the same way. I've never felt like this before, not even with Sarah. But you're right, we can never tell Jake. This needs to be the only time. But it wasn't the only time. The emails continued. Plans to meet up. Times when they knew I'd be at work or busy. The gym times Emma mentioned? Meeting Marcus. The work late nights? Marcus. The team building event on our anniversary month? They'd spent it together at his apartment. There were no explicit details in the emails. They were being careful, communicating more sensitive stuff through other means probably, but there was enough. Enough to know that for 6 months, while I was being the loving boyfriend, while I was being the supportive best friend, they were together. Behind my back, in his apartment, in our apartment when I wasn't home, in hotel rooms. Everywhere. I found one email from Emma to Marcus from just 2 weeks ago. He asked me about marriage again. I felt sick. How can I marry him when I'm in love with you? But how can I leave him when I still care about him too? I'm torn apart, Marcus. I'm a terrible person. His reply. You're not terrible. This situation is terrible. We made it terrible, but we need to make a choice. I can't keep watching him plan a future with you when I know the truth. When I want that future with you. I slammed the laptop shut. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely control them. Emma was still in the shower. I could hear the water running, could hear her humming softly like everything was normal. Like she hadn't been destroying my life for half a year. The confrontation. I sat there on the couch, my mind racing. What do I do? Confront her now? Confront Marcus first? Gather more evidence? Part of me wanted to just pack my stuff and leave without a word, ghost them both. But I needed answers. I needed to hear them say it. Emma came out of the bathroom in her pajamas, hair wrapped in a towel. She smiled at me, actually smiled, like we were still the happy couple from 3 years ago. What do you want for dinner tomorrow night? She asked. I was thinking we could finally try that new Italian place. I stared at her. Emma, we need to talk. Something in my voice made her freeze. Okay. What's wrong? I saw your emails with Marcus. The color drained from her face. Jake, don't. I held up my hand. Just, don't. I read enough. I know about the 6 months. I know about the lies. I know about everything. She stood there, opening and closing her mouth like a fish. Finally, tears started streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. God, Jake, I'm so sorry. Sorry you did it or sorry you got caught? Both. Neither. I don't know. She sat down on the opposite end of the couch, as far from me as possible. It happened. We didn't mean for it to happen. It just happened, I repeated flatly. For 6 months. It just kept happening. Every day you woke up and made the choice to keep lying to me. Every time Marcus came over for game night and sat on this couch next to me, he made that choice too. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Emma? Explain it to me. Make me understand how the 2 people I trusted most in the world could do this to me. She was sobbing now, full-body sobs that shook her shoulders. I don't know. It started at that bar, remember? When you had to work late and couldn't make it, and Marcus and I went anyway because we'd already made reservations. I did remember. About 7 months ago, I'd had a major presentation the next day and had to stay late to prepare. I'd told them to go without me, have fun. Jesus Christ, that long? We just talked that night. That's all it was. But we talked for hours, Jake. About everything. About life and dreams and fears. Things we'd never really discussed before. And I felt this connection. But I pushed it away. I swear I did. Not hard enough, apparently. A few weeks later, you were out of town for that conference. Marcus came over to drop off your mail that had been delivered to his place by mistake. We had a glass of wine. Then another. We were talking again, and then you fucked him. She flinched. It wasn't like that. It was. It felt like more than that. God, I know how that sounds. I know what a horrible person that makes me. And then you just kept doing it. For 6 months. While I was planning our future. While I was telling people how lucky I was to have you. I tried to break it off so many times, she said desperately. I did, but then I'd see him, and I'd feel that connection again, and I couldn't do it. And I love you too, Jake. I really do. That's what makes this so complicated. No, Emma, what makes this complicated is that you're a liar and a cheater. That's not love. Love doesn't look like this. Are you going to tell people? She asked quietly. I stared at her. That's what you're worried about? Your reputation? No, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm in shock. I never wanted you to find out like this. How did you want me to find out? Or were you just planning to keep lying forever? She didn't answer. I stood up. I'm leaving. I need to not be here right now. Jake, please. Can we talk about this? Can we try to work through this? I laughed, but it came out bitter and harsh. Work through this? Emma, you cheated on me with my best friend for half a year. What exactly is there to work through? The trust is gone. Whatever we had is dead. But I love you. No, you don't. You love the safety and security I provide while getting excitement from Marcus. That's not love. That's just selfish. I grabbed my keys and wallet and headed for the door. Where are you going? She called after me. I don't know. Anywhere but here. Confronting Marcus. I drove to Marcus's apartment building. It was 9 p.m. by then, and I hadn't really thought through what I was going to do or say. I just knew I needed to face him. To hear him try to justify this. I pounded on his door. No answer. I pounded again. Finally, I heard movement inside, and the door opened. Marcus stood there in sweatpants and a t-shirt, looking relaxed and comfortable. Then he saw my face, and his expression changed to one of terror. Jake. I pushed past him into the apartment. 6 months, Marcus. 6 fucking months. He closed the door slowly. She told you. She didn't tell me anything. I found out. Read the emails on her account. All of it. He sat down heavily on his couch, his head in his hands. God, Jake, I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen. You never meant for it to happen, but it did. Over and over again. You sat next to me at game nights. You came to my family's Christmas dinner. You looked me in the eye and lied for 6 months. I know. I'm a terrible person. I'm a terrible friend. You're not my friend, Marcus. Friends don't do this. You're a stranger who I thought I knew. He looked up at me, and I could see he'd been crying. His eyes were red and puffy. I fell in love with her, Jake. I didn't mean to, but I did. And once it started, I couldn't stop. We tried to stop so many times, but... Stop lying, I shouted. You could have stopped. You could have told me the truth. You could have been an actual friend. But you chose to sneak around behind my back instead. You're right, he said quietly. You're absolutely right. I was a coward. I am a coward. Did you sleep with her here? In this apartment where I've slept over after too many beers? Where I've crashed on your couch? He nodded, not meeting my eyes. Jesus Christ. I felt sick. Where? The bedroom? The couch? Where? Marcus. Does it matter? Yes, it fucking matters. I need to know how thoroughly you both destroyed everything. The bedroom, mostly. Sometimes the living room. I looked at the couch where I'd sat just weeks ago, watching movies and eating pizza, completely oblivious. I trusted you. You were my best friend. You were supposed to have my back. I know. I betrayed that trust in the worst possible way. Why? I asked, and I hated how broken my voice sounded. Why did you do it? Was I not a good enough friend? Did I do something to you? No. He stood up. No, Jake, this had nothing to do with you. You're a great friend. The best friend I've ever had. That's what makes this so fucked up. Then explain it to me. Make me understand. He took a deep breath. I've been in love with Emma since the day I met her. At that party, 3 years ago. I saw her first, actually. I was about to go talk to her when you came up next to me. And you looked at her with such hope in your eyes, such genuine interest. And I thought I'd be a good friend. I'd push you to talk to her instead. Maybe if she rejected you, I'd have my chance. But she didn't reject you. She fell for you immediately. So you've been harboring this for 3 years? I tried to move on. I dated Sarah. I tried to be happy for you both. And I was, mostly. You two were great together. But there was always this small part of me that wondered, what if? And then that night at the bar, when it was just the two of us, we connected on a different level. And I realized she felt it too. This thing between us that had always been there but we'd both ignored. So you acted on it. You betrayed me because of some connection you felt. I'm not trying to justify it, Jake. What I did was inexcusable. What we both did was inexcusable. I just want you to know it wasn't some casual thing. I fell in love with her. And that's supposed to make me feel better? That my best friend fell in love with my girlfriend and decided to act on it anyway? He didn't answer. I need to know something, I said. Are you two going to be together now? Now that I know? I don't know. We haven't talked about it. Bullshit. You've had 6 months to talk about it. You've talked about me never finding out. You've talked about your guilt. What's the plan now? There is no plan, Jake. I don't know what happens now. I walked toward the door, then turned back. You know what the worst part is? I would have been happy for you if you'd just been honest. If you'd come to me months ago and said, Jake, I have feelings for Emma, and I think she has feelings for me too, I would have been hurt, but I would have respected the honesty. We could have handled it like adults. But instead, you made me the fool. You let me sit here in ignorance while you two carried on your affair. Jake, don't contact me again. Lose my number. We're done. I left his apartment and sat in my car in the parking lot for a long time, just trying to process everything. 3 years of my life, built on lies. 6 months of active betrayal. My girlfriend and my best friend. It was such a cliché, such a tired story, but God, it hurt so much worse than I ever imagined it could. The aftermath, day 1. I checked into a motel that night. Some cheap place off the highway where they didn't ask questions about the guy checking in at 11 p.m. with no luggage and red eyes from crying. I didn't sleep. I just lay on the scratchy comforter, staring at the ceiling, watching car headlights sweep across the room from the parking lot below. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts from Emma. Please come home. We need to talk about this. I know I messed up. Please give me a chance to explain properly. Jake, I'm worried about you. Where are you? I love you. Please don't throw away 3 years over this. Texts from Marcus. I understand if you hate me. I hate myself. I'm so sorry, Jake. You deserved so much better. I'll move out of the neighborhood. You won't have to see me. I didn't respond to any of them. I turned my phone off eventually, just to get some peace. Around 4 a.m., I turned it back on and called my sister. She answered groggily. Jake, what's wrong? Amy, I'm sorry to call so late. Or early. I don't know what time it is anymore. Are you okay? You sound awful. Emma's been cheating on me. With Marcus. Silence. Then. What? I told her everything. The emails, the 6 months, the confrontations. She listened without interrupting, which I appreciated. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. Those fucking assholes, she finally said. Jake, I'm so sorry. Where are you? Some motel. I couldn't go back to the apartment. Come stay with me. Pack up your stuff from the apartment tomorrow and come here. You shouldn't be alone right now. I don't want to impose. You're not imposing. You're my brother. Come here. We'll figure this out together. I felt tears welling up again. Okay, thanks, Amy. Get some sleep if you can. Call me tomorrow when you're ready to get your stuff, and I'll come with you. After we hung up, I felt marginally better. At least I had someone in my corner. At least I wasn't completely alone. The fallout begins. The next day, Amy came with me to the apartment. Emma was there, looking like she hadn't slept either. Her eyes were swollen from crying, and she looked genuinely miserable. Part of me wanted to comfort her, which made me angry at myself. She didn't deserve my comfort. Jake, she started, but Amy held up a hand. Don't, Amy said firmly. You've done enough. Jake's here to get his stuff. Make this easy, or make it hard. Your choice. Emma nodded and retreated to the bedroom. I started packing. Clothes, Books, my gaming stuff, my work laptop. 3 years of cohabitation, reduced to boxes and suitcases. Emma watched from the bedroom doorway, crying silently. I never wanted to hurt you, she said. Amy scoffed. Then you shouldn't have fucked his best friend for 6 months. Amy, please. This is between Jake and me. No, I said, not looking up from the box I was packing. Amy's right. You don't get to play the victim here, Emma. You made your choices. Can I at least explain my side? Please? I stopped packing and looked at her. Fine. Explain. She took a shaky breath. I love you, Jake. I really do. But somewhere along the way, I fell in love with Marcus too. I know that's not an excuse. I know I should have ended things with you the moment I realized I had feelings for him. But I couldn't bear the thought of losing you. You're safe and stable and you've always been so good to me. So you kept me around as a safety net while you explored things with Marcus. It wasn't like that. That's exactly what it was like, Amy interjected. Jake, don't listen to this. Let's just get your stuff and go. But I needed to hear it all. What was the plan, Emma? Keep stringing me along forever? Marry me while still seeing Marcus on the side? No, I was trying to figure out what to do. I was going to make a choice eventually. And which one of us were you going to choose? She didn't answer, which was an answer in itself. I continued packing in silence. When I had everything I needed, I stood in the doorway of what used to be our home and looked at her one last time. I hope it was worth it, I said. I hope whatever you and Marcus have is worth destroying everything. Jake. I closed the door behind me and walked away. The days following, Amy's apartment became my refuge. She lived alone in a small one-bedroom, so I crashed on her couch, but it was better than being alone or being in that apartment with Emma. Amy worked from home as a software developer, so she was around most of the time, which helped. She didn't push me to talk when I didn't want to, but she was there when I needed to vent. The hardest part was telling everyone else. My family, our mutual friends, my coworkers who'd met Emma at company events. Each conversation was like reopening the wound. My mom cried when I told her. Oh honey, I'm so sorry. I really thought she was the one. So did I, Mom. And Marcus? I can't believe it. He seemed like such a good friend. He fooled everyone, including me. My dad was more pragmatic. You're young. You'll recover from this. And you're better off knowing now than 5 years down the line when you're married with kids. True, but it didn't make it hurt less. The mutual friends were the worst. Our social circle was so intertwined that choosing sides seemed inevitable. Some people immediately cut off Emma and Marcus. Others tried to stay neutral, which felt like a betrayal in itself. A few even suggested I was overreacting. My friend Connor actually said to me, 6 months is a long time, but people make mistakes. Maybe you guys can work through it with therapy? I stopped talking to Connor after that. The work situation was awkward too. Emma and I had overlapping social circles through work, different companies, but in the same industry. We'd been to each other's company parties. My coworkers knew her. Some of them asked what happened, and I gave them the basics. The looks of pity were almost as bad as the betrayal itself. The unexpected twist. About a week after everything exploded, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Jake? It's Sarah, Marcus's ex. I sat up straight. Sarah? Wow, hi, how did you get my number? I got it from a mutual friend. I heard about what happened. With Marcus and Emma. News travels fast, I guess. Jake, I need to tell you something. Something I probably should have told you 2 years ago when Marcus and I broke up. My stomach sank. What is it? Marcus cheated on me. Throughout our entire relationship, I found out he'd been seeing multiple other women behind my back. When I confronted him, he swore it was just a phase, that he'd never do it again, that he loved me. I believed him for about a month, and then I found more evidence. That's when I ended it. I felt cold. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because you seemed so supportive of him after the breakup, and he painted me as the crazy jealous girlfriend to everyone. I tried to tell a few mutual friends, but no one believed me. Marcus was so convincing, so good at playing the victim. Eventually, I just gave up and moved on. But when I heard about what he did to you, I thought you deserved to know the truth about who he really is. Jesus Christ. So this is a pattern for him. It seems like it. I'm sorry, Jake, I really am. For what it's worth, He seemed genuinely broken up about losing you as a friend. Maybe that's different than how he felt about losing me. But I thought you should know you're not the first person he's betrayed. After we hung up, I felt even more confused. Everything I thought I knew about Marcus, about his breakup with Sarah, about his character, it was all a lie. The man I thought was my best friend was essentially a stranger. Emma reaches out. 2 weeks after the discovery, Emma showed up at Amy's apartment. Amy tried to turn her away, but I told her to let Emma in. We needed to have this conversation eventually. We sat in Amy's tiny kitchen while Amy pointedly stayed in the bedroom with the door closed, though I'm sure she was listening. "Thank you for seeing me," Emma said. "I'm not sure what else there is to say, Emma. I need to tell you what's happening. With me and Marcus. I don't want to hear about your relationship. We're not together," she interrupted. "We tried to be. After you found out, we figured since everything was already ruined, we might as well try to make it work. To see if what we had was real or just the thrill of sneaking around. And it fell apart almost immediately. Without the secrecy, without the forbidden aspect, there was nothing really there. We argued constantly. About you, about the guilt, about everything. He wanted to reach out to you and apologize. I wanted to give you space. He felt guilty. I felt guilty. We both felt like terrible people, and being together just made it worse. So you broke up. 2 days ago. It was mutual. We both realized we destroyed something real, what you and I had, for something that was ultimately just an illusion. I didn't say anything. What was there to say? I'm not telling you this to get back together," she continued. "I know that's not an option. I just wanted you to know that you were right. What Marcus and I had wasn't real love. It was selfish and destructive and ultimately meaningless. Does that make you feel better?" I asked, knowing it meant nothing. "No. It makes me feel worse. Because I threw away 3 years with someone who actually loved me for something that evaporated the moment we had to face reality. Emma, I appreciate you telling me this, but it doesn't change anything. You still cheated. You still lied for 6 months. The Emma I fell in love with would never have done that, which means I didn't really know you at all." She nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I know. I just needed you to hear it from me. And I needed to apologize, properly. I'm so sorry, Jake. I'm sorry for the pain I caused you. I'm sorry for the betrayal.